Hey everybody, it is Nurse Eunice and we are live. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. And I just want to put this on here. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. This is Office Hours with Nurse Eunice. This is your chance to ask me any questions that you may have. Doesn't have to be about nursing, doesn't have to be about CNA, it could be about life in general. So if you have a question, I want to help answer your questions. And so for everybody who's coming in, let me know you're here. Put your name in the chat. Let me know where you are viewing from. And so let's open up those comments. And I'm going to be looking down at my other phone at times so that I can see the comments a little more clear, because it's kind of hard to see them from the camera that I'm recording from. Hey Innocent, how are you doing today? How is life treating you? I hope you're having a very blessed day. Innocent, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Otherwise, I'm going to get started on our Wednesday night live questions. I have to do the presentation. I'm going to finish that up. You're from Haiti. That is, how are things there since the hurricane? Are you in a safer area? You know, what we see on the news is sometimes jaded. We only see one side of the news, and it may not be the side that portrays Haiti in the best light. So how are you? How are your family? And how are your studies going? Congratulations, Alicia, on passing your examination. I'm so proud of you. And so what I've been doing for everybody who joins our office hours is I've been subscribing to their channel. So Alicia, guess what? I'm your first subscriber. Let me go back. Let me get my Alicia. Alicia, go into your channel. Subscribed. And now Innocent, I probably have already subscribed to your channel, but I'm going to check right now. Innocent, is it Innocente or is it Innocent? I'm subscribing. Done. All right, and so let's see what those, it says, I'm doing well, thank you. You're very welcome. Do you all have any questions about anything? All right, so Peace ask, and Peace, let me subscribe to you right now. Going to your channel, I'm going to subscribe. Peace, I'm your first subscriber also. Perfect. So Peace asked, what is a normal blood pressure? Peace. My test will be 12/29/2025. What a way to end the new year. You're going to pass the examination. You're going to pass. You've been studying for a while. All right, so Peace, do you have paper and pen with you? All right, so the normal blood pressure, your blood pressure has two different readings. It has a systolic, or the top number, and that's the pressure against the arteries whenever the heart is contracting, when it's forcing blood out. Think of like a ketchup bottle, and you're trying to get the very last ketchup out the bottle, and you do that with the ketchup bottle. That's systolic. That's that force that's pushing the blood through. So that's the top number. Diastolic is when the heart relaxes, when it relaxes to allow more blood in. So systolic, squeeze. Diastolic, rest. So the systolic blood pressure parameters have changed. As of 2025, based off of the American Heart Association, the systolic numbers are 100 to 130. And so technically now, if the systolic blood pressure is greater than 130, cardiologists will say that you have hypertension. Old textbook said 100 to 140. Your nurse probably won't be too concerned until someone's top number is greater than 140. So there's textbook and then there's real world. When is your nurse going to panic? She is not going to panic if someone's systolic blood pressure is 138. She's not. So American Heart, systolic blood pressure is 100 to 130. Real world, we're okay with 100 to 140. Now let's talk about that diastolic, the blood pressure at rest. That's the second number, the bottom number. A good rule of thumb is 50 to 80. That's a good rule of thumb. Read your textbook. Anything above 80, usually if it's just a systolic pressure that's high, that's environmental. Maybe the person is stressed. Maybe they're in pain. Maybe they, maybe what else? Maybe they ate a whole bunch of salt. So the systolic blood pressure, even though it's important, is not as important as that systolic pressure, the top number. So I hope you wrote that down. I hope that helps you to understand. And I have videos that talk about vital signs. And if you go, I'm going to put it in here now. If you go to our website, which is my personal website, which is nurseeunice.com, you will see a vital sign study guide. Go download it. Learn your vital signs. And remember, there's textbook and there are humans. I'm not going to freak out because my patient's blood pressure is 142/82 if my patient feels okay. So we know what the books say, but we also give humans grace. Now, if someone's blood pressure is 180/100, then we have an issue. When in doubt, talk to your nurse when you're working at these facilities. I got to look at this phone to answer your next question. So I have subscribed to Peace and Innocente. I hope I said that correctly. Let's see. We talked about that. Hey, Eric from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Guess what? I'm going to learn Spanish. That's my goal for 2026. We have so many students who come into our offices who are bilingual and trilingual, and yet they are apologetic for having broken English. And I remind them that you don't have to speak English perfectly. You speak 4 other languages. So who am I to be criticizing you for your English? And anyway, I'm going to learn Spanish. Yep. So that way I don't have to keep pulling out all these translation apps. So Eric, Renata, guess what? I'm subscribing. Subscribed. All right. So let's see who is next. So Innocent, can you tell the difference between paraplegia, hemiplegia, and quadriplegia? Absolutely. Do you have pen and paper available? So let's talk about those prefixes. So when we say paraplegia, we're usually talking about the lower half of the body. So they are paralyzed, paraplegia, or they have lower body weakness. That's like belly button down. So that would be paraplegia. Hemiplegia is usually what happens after a stroke. So paraplegia may happen after a traumatic accident, maybe like a car accident. They had spinal cord damage and now they're paraplegic. Hemiplegia is when one part of the body becomes weak, and that would happen after a stroke. Quadriplegia, quad meaning 4, is when all 4 extremities are affected. And that too would be something that happens after a traumatic event. Let's say somebody went skiing and they, hit their head, or they fell off of from a high area, and now their spinal cord is so damaged until they don't have any movement to any of their extremities. So quad would be 4. That's somebody who is pretty much totally paralyzed, or if they do have movement, it's so limited until we still have to say they have weakness in that extremity. So therefore they have quadriplegia. So para, below the waist. Hemi, half of the body. Quad, all 4 limbs, pretty much neck down. So I hope that helped you. Great question. Let's go to the next one. Thank you all for your patience as I'm navigating these phones trying to answer questions. I like to joke and say, old player, new technology. All right, so let's see what our next question is. Can you get WAPASMR going? I have no idea what that means. So until you write it out, I don't understand what those acronyms mean. So, Josie, help a sister out. Explain it to me. All right, so the next one is Nichelle. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Are you worried that a lot of nurses will be losing their job because of the current state of healthcare, the Affordable Care Act? I am concerned that they are going to be losing their jobs. I'm also concerned that a lot of people are afraid to pivot. My first week on the floor as a nurse back in 1999, I decided that I was going to nurse differently. I didn't like how they were treating nurses. I didn't like how the nurses were treating nurses. And then, with me being so young, I got my bachelor's degree at 22. And the way they treated me, I was like, well, and the way they treated each other. And then you still had old nurses on the floor who were mean. And I'm like, ooh, that's not going to be my future. So I created my strategy, my exit strategy way back then. And so my recommendation for these nurses who obviously see the writing on the wall, they're trying to get robots in to partner with nurses. Nurses already take the downfall for everything. The doctor writes the wrong order, the pharmacy sends the wrong medication, the nurse pushes it. It is the nurse who's going to jail. And so I will refuse to be partnered with a robot. I'm not going to be partnered with a robot. So if you see the writing on the wall, I'm concerned, but I'm more concerned about the nurses who are afraid to pivot. The ones who are so used to depending on guaranteed income until they won't take a chance on themselves. And so send them to me. I teach entrepreneurship. I teach content creation. I just teach without being in someone's facility. Okay, so there are ways to make money without being dependent on government assistance, aka ACA, to fund a hospital, and then on top of that, to then fund you. They're never going to get paid what they deserve to get paid. I was getting paid $42 an hour when I was 25 years old. Now, if I apply for a hospital position, they're going to say, hey, we're starting you off at 38. Absolutely not. So the pay hasn't increased unless you're doing travel nursing, but now even those contracts have ceased. So I probably over answered your question. I am concerned, but they need to begin pivoting. They need to do what I did at the age of 22. They need to start developing their exit strategy. And so guess what? I'm subscribing to you right now, Nichelle. Great question. Hope I said your name correctly. It's Michael. I'm so sorry. My glasses are not working. So Michael, guess what? Subscribed. Let's see who has a question now. Blank is blank says, cute Christmas tree. I appreciate you. There are no presents under our tree, and I'm going to make a video about that. We're not doing presents this year. My son is blessed year round. I taught him years ago that Christmas is not about us. It's about what we can do, who we can give back to. You go on trips. You don't need another game system. You don't need another pair of pants. And so our Christmas tree is empty. We're going to go spend time with the grandparents, and he'll probably get a little bit of cash. But I don't want to feel obligated to buy anyone else gifts, and I don't want them to feel obligated to buy me a gift that I definitely don't need. So, if anything, volunteer, donate to the homeless, donate to a children's hospital. That's what would make me happy this Christmas. So thank you for asking, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. And blank is blank. I am subscribing right now. I'm going to your channel. I love it. How awesome. Subscribed. All right, next question. Let's see who is next. Powerball $1 million. So, Jason, I'm going to your channel. So you're telling me that I need to go play the Powerball. Is that what you're saying? Thank you for the pointer. I am subscribing. I'm your first subscriber. Watch me, watch me, watch me. Make sure I hit the button. You have a subscriber. Who is next? So you all just keep asking questions. We're going to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes. So Michael says, my sister is a registered nurse, so I totally understand your concerns. It's more than just worried that I can't express myself properly here, but I hope everyone takes care of each other. You're absolutely correct. I had a conversation with 2 people yesterday. I was talking about the strategy for 2026 is community and partnership. And something else that I'm really big on is health is wealth. So you have to take care of yourself, because if there's not going to be any Medicare, Medicaid, insurance costs are going to be astronomical. My insurance went up $200 a month. So if that was someone else, me, I can get online, I can hustle a little bit, I can sell some extra books, so I can come up with $200. But other people are like totally maxed out. There's no housing right now. So you take all of those additional expenses, and what's going to be the first thing that someone doesn't pay? They're not going to pay for their healthcare insurance. They're not going to go to the doctor. So you all, health is wealth. Stay as healthy as possible, as long as possible. Know your numbers. Go to the doctor right now before the end of the year. Get all your physicals and stuff done, so that if you need to kind of like skirt through 2026, you can, because you're confident in knowing that you knew what your labs were. You had your mammogram, you had your colonoscopy, you had all that done at the end of 2025, while you still have affordable insurance. So that would definitely be something I would recommend. Don't don't do anything too dangerous. If you like to skydive, maybe you shouldn't be skydiving in 2026. I wouldn't recommend that unless you can afford them deductibles. And then, you know, just take care of each other. We have to partner. We have to collaborate. We're going to have to go back to community, because depending on the government is going to have you stuck. Okay, stuck, stagnant, broke, and pretty much homeless. So yeah, I get to talk about stuff like that on this channel. I can't talk like that on Florida Training Academy. So Michael, I am loving your questions. Thank you so much. Let's see who else. Looks like it is Betty. So let me go back to Betty. Betty says, do you have any free insurance in America? They have like Medicare and Medicaid, but you have to meet qualifications, and the doctors don't necessarily accept it. So just because you have it doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be able to see a doctor. For example, when I wasn't working full time, my son, not me, my son was on the child version. He was on Medicaid, and he needed ear surgery, and no ear doctor would see him. So me being smart, and okay, I have to figure out childcare. I don't care how small he is. Let me go back to work. I went and got a full-time position. And then once I had private healthcare insurance, guess what? Here's an ear specialist who can provide the surgery on your son. So just because they have the insurance doesn't mean that they're going to get the health care that they need. So that's very unfortunate. Thank you for asking, Betty. And Betty, guess what? I am going to your channel right now, and Nurse Eunice is your first subscriber also. So subscribe. Keep the questions going. I like this. We got about 5 more minutes before I have to go pick up my son. My son is 6 foot something now at 13, so he's not a little baby anymore. Oh, yay. Do you all have any plans for the holidays? Where are you watching us from? What questions do you have? Are you interested in CNA, nursing? Like, what's your strategy? Do you need help creating your strategy? I am here to assist you. This is Office Hours with Nurse Eunice, so get those questions going. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any questions. And remember, Jason reminded all of us that the Powerball is $1 billion. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's hey, if you got an extra $2 to go play the Powerball, I recommend that you do so. God will forgive you. Pay your tithes. All right, so let's see any other questions. If you all don't have any other questions, I am going to end this live stream. It has been fun. I subscribed to a few of your channels. If you've not subscribed to my channel, which is Eunice Mathis, go ahead and do so. That way you're going to receive alerts. You'll know when I'm online. Tomorrow will be Wednesday Night Live. I'm going to be doing a practice test for the CNA examination. And 2026 is going to be so awesome and so powerful. I have skill videos after skill videos after skill videos lined up. So we're going to teach you how to take care of babies, how to do your self-breast examinations, how to catheterize mannequins. I've been teaching CNA for a long time, so of course I'm going to cover CNA, but a lot of you all have transitioned beyond CNA, and now you're ready for nursing school, so I want to make sure that I'm there to help teach you. All right, and so where can I get less books for sale? And so Betty, our book is on sale. I'm going to put my website back in there again. It's at nurseeunice.com for the CNA book. I'm thinking that's a typo when you put less books. And then Christy King says, are you me mom? All right, so Christy, I can be your auntie, but I can't be your mom. Aunties are the cool people. They come in your life, they go home for the weekend, you know, they buy you a gift every now and then. So I'm officially your auntie, Nurse Eunice, but I'm not your mom. And I'm going to your channel right now. And Stitch Girl, guess what's up? I am subscribing. You have a friend in me. I have subscribed. And so everybody, this is Nurse Eunice. I'm going to be logging off if there are no other questions. And so Betty, when you go to nurseeunice.com, I think the first link there is going to take you to my CNA exam prep book. And thank you for supporting us. You're so welcome. Thank you. A lot of people have utilized it and they say it helped them pass their examinations. It's not dependent on a particular state. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday Night Live. Bye.